Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who's so happy and thankful that the zombie week is over. I'm Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rob Has a Podcast here. Thursday night covering a Big Brother live show. Could have been an email, but I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about here tonight with, of course, a man who is seen it all this week. It's Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
You know, Rob, this episode kind of gave me a headache, but luckily I've got something for that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, it's
acetaminophen.
Yes.
Acetaminophen. Right?
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. Yeah, sure.
Here's it.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. And also back with us, a woman who I'm sure was riveted tonight. It's Melissa Deni. Melissa, how are you?
I am doing great because this week is over. I wish we got an HOH, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. Yeah.
Really, Big Brother, I said this on Sunday night that I aspire to have the chutzpah, to have just the absolute audacity to have an episode a week where nothing happens and to still say, we're not going to give you an HOH on a Thursday episode. We're going to
give us nothing.
Give them nothing. Give them nothing. We're going to do a cliffhanger on. I couldn't believe we still had 10 minutes of this competition. We had 20 on Sunday night. Melissa, we need 30 minutes of this.
God. I can't watch that competition for 1 second longer. And not to mention the fact that like we had interviews at the end or whatever. Like it's like we just heard from Jared. Like we don't need another Jared interview or whatever. Just like send him off to the zombie thing. Have him be like dragged into the nether region or something and then just be done with it. Like I feel like we didn't need an interview. To be fair, I did tear up when Jared was crying. I did. Yeah. So that I feel like that was worth it. But at the same time, it's like, come on.
Hold on. Are you guys saying that you did not enjoy watching these two men try very hard not to drop their balls and spill their load?
Okay. Okay, Taran.
I'm
Rob,
confused.
we need to kick him out. Taran is
okay. All right. Yellow card for you, Taran. All right.
I'm quoting the episode.
Violation.
Yes.
I'm clean.
Yes.
In the file. Okay, Rob, I want you to put this in Taran's file because you know,
all right,
it's offensive to all of us.
I am as offensive and bad wordy as Big Brother is.
Mm-hmm.
As bad wordy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, we got to see all the. I did think that there were some interesting strategic beats that they hit. Taran, do you feel like that they did a good job of telling the story of the house from this slower week?
They did basically condense the entire week into two different scenes of like strategy. So yeah.
I mean, so that's basically if you completely like slow the strategy down to an absolute crawl, like they can cover it in an episode.
They can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, my big takeaway from the episode is that I guess things are exceedingly bleak for Corey heading into this week, you know, between everything that we saw from all of the different Jag and Matt and Blue and Cam of it all. But then also on top of it, then Cerie's goodbye message to Jared, where she said that she was going to get Corey for Jared.
I didn't know that she felt that strongly about it. Like I knew that it was like, well, they're not working together. Like he got Jared out. Obviously they're not working together, but I didn't think it was like, I'm going to get him out if it's the last thing I do or anything like that. So I was pretty surprised to see that.
I mean, she also declared vengeance for Izzy.
Justice for Izzy.
Which is to get Cam out. Granted, you know,
well, she did
for Jared is probably more important, but you know, she's Arya Stark in that house at this point.
She's gonna
got a whole
list.
Everybody.
Yeah. Wow. Tara, I kind of thought that when Jared came back, didn't he say that he respected the move that Corey made? I didn't know that he was like really feeling like that he was super angry with Corey.
I mean, he's not more angry with Corey necessarily than he is with like Matt or Jag. He actually was pushing pretty hard for Blue and Suri to be looking hard at Matt and Jag. It's just that Suri and Blue in particular are more seemingly, Blue certainly, more aimed at Corey. And he did have a conversation with Blue where they were very pleased with the idea of Corey leaving pre-jury and being separated from America. So I don't think he would be upset if that occurred.
Okay, so Jared is officially out of the game. Took 2 weeks in the making, but Jared is officially out, and he is also going to be back out into the world. He's not in the jury. We'll have one more person who is also not going to be a part of this jury, presumably evicted from the house, coming up next Thursday night as the final pre-juror of this very extended. I mean, this is like there are some seasons of Big Brother that get close to this total runtime, and we're still in the pre-jury.
But it's too much. It's too long. I say it every time. The shorter seasons are better. We don't need these drawn-out seasons. The writer's strike is over. Like, let's do something else. I mean,
what do you want to do?
Not this. I don't know.
Big Brother.
All this. It's just not these stupid. We're coming back from the dead thing, but we're gonna have it take a long week.
You know what really screwed things up was after the whole incident with redacted Luke, that there was supposed to be an 18th house guest that was coming in, and then that, I mean, if it wasn't for that,
oh damn,
we could have had another double eviction next week.
Lord hell.
So, okay, all right. Headline: Cam is back in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been being a good boy.
He's back.
I mean, I guess I do feel like there's more that can happen with Cam being back in the game versus Jared being back in the game. I just feel like if Jared was back in the game, we already know who Jared's going to work with. Cam being back in the game, I kind of feel like he's a free agent. Obviously, he had these conversations with Matt and Jag. They have their little alliance. They have their little alliance or whatever. But I do think that he's more flexible for sure in terms of who he's going to work with. He doesn't have these like loyalties already set coming back in like Jared would with Suri and Blue. So I think it's more exciting to have Cam come back in. We'll see where this goes. I'm really a little nervous because I do think that he's way more likely to just win competitions. And so we could just see a situation where we cannot get Cam out again. And that was a fluke, and he makes it all the way down to the end. And it's just like, that's that. So I hope that's not the case. I do hope there's more like give and take, and he's not always winning, and it's more just strategy versus just like, you know, winning out. But I think it's a good thing that it was Cam and not Jared.
Well, he's doing the brigade. We
New
saw
brigade.
The brigade. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently Matt has no idea what the brigade is. I thought that
He was 5 when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Yeah.
Which is a lie, by the way. He wasn't 5.
Yeah. Yeah, because the brigade,
Liar.
the brigade was back in 2010. So
yeah, he was like 16.
Okay, I feel better then because I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, he's that young. I'm that old.
No, time's just a flat circle, and that it seems like it's further away than it was. But ultimately, Cam comes back. What'd you think of the challenge, Taran? That we were speculating about it as being the Caitlyn puzzle. It turned out to be the Frankie Grande vertical maze.
Yeah. When they presented this, I saw the 3 balls at the bottom of the competition, and I was like, okay, 3 balls, 3 minutes. I think I would take that. I think I would go for that. And then my chat was like, no, Taran, silly boy. It's 1 ball, 3 minutes. You just have 3 of them.
I thought the same thing. I was like, he lost. Oh my God, he already lost.
I thought the same thing. I thought he had to do 3 balls. And then by the time it was like, okay, we were past 2 minutes and he hadn't even gotten 1 and he dropped it. I'm like, oh, he's done.
I was like,
He's
Jared's
done.
back in the house.
And that's when I
it.
tweeted like, oh, king of winning by default. Don't forget, he's right
I was
there.
gonna tweet something too, because I literally was like, oh, Jared's back in. I was like, I would not take that deal at all. 3 balls in 3 minutes. Like, there's no way I could do that. It looks very difficult. And then he goes and he takes the deal. He's dropping the ball. He's like going so slow. I'm like, speed it up. You have 3 balls to do. And turns out, no. And then when it stopped, I was like, oh, the 3 minutes is up. He lost. He couldn't get it in. And then I saw there was still 1 minute left on the timer. The rules were not explained properly. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to drop 1 ball and also go about as slow as it's possible to go in this competition and still have a minute left. This was by far a bigger gimme than the Caitlyn puzzle, which it didn't even have to be, because at least with this one, there was an alternative result that was also perfectly fine versus they never expected Caitlyn to lose. Like, this was way too easy in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe like if he needed to be like, even on Survivor, when you do it, like the person is often like, you have to stand on like a balance beam to do it. Like this was just like, go stand there. And it was kind of a boring 3-minute competition.
Okay. And also everybody in the chat who's like, the rules were explained very well. You guys are just idiots. Like, no, sorry. If all 3 of us thought it was different, that's not explained very well.
All 3 of us are idiots.
No, I refuse to believe that.
Yeah.
It was not explained well if 3 people out of even all these many people that are in the chat didn't understand it.
That look, Taran should have got it. You know, I'm easily distracted, but I mean, Taran, I expect more from.
Yeah, honestly, it's fine that Rob and I don't know it, but like,
yeah,
Taran,
I mean, there was a football game on. Taran,
how do you not know this? How did you not get this? Like the rest of us, like, who cares? But like, come on, do your job.
You know what? I'm just gonna talk to Heisem again.
1, you are worthy, and 2, you are pure gold.
Turn that off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Cam is back. How many people does that leave us with at the house?
10.
10. Okay. We're back to 10. We'll get the HOH. Do we have any suspicions about what the HOH challenge is going to be?
I was trying to figure this out. I don't think it's going to be a quiz. They were all dressed up, but they were probably told there wasn't going to be an HOH comp, so it still could theoretically be physical. But if they stay dressed up, my guess would be some sort of crapshoot. We haven't had one in a while. I think it could be something like the like throw the drink down the table, or it could be like, I guess this would also require a change in clothes though, but it could be like the bobsled one where they try to get as close to the line as possible. Or it could be
that the one where they wear those horrible outfits?
Yes,
yeah, your favorite one.
No,
yes, that's in the mix. You know, like I think there's also the one with like the like you have to hold like 3 buttons at the same time, and then if you let go of the buttons, like the time goes like 5x, like 30x. Yeah, I think that's in the mix. Like you know, there's like the ones where they have like fake movie posters. There's also like another one they could do in the spot.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a quiz because basically they've gone like quiz wall quiz for HOHs. So I feel like they're not going to do that, but we'll see.
Yeah. Is there a scenario where Corey and or America avoid the block this week other than them winning HOH?
Yeah, I mean, we even heard Matt say it tonight that like they're not with Corey and America really anymore, but they also don't feel the need to target Corey and America quite yet. In fact, him and Jag were talking with Blue just last night, and Blue was pushing Corey hard on them, and they were both like, I feel like it's too early. We feel like it's too early. Now, that doesn't mean that they couldn't change their minds once they win the HOH, but right now they are probably looking at Felicia. Cam has been saying he's going to be targeting Felicia all week long. Blue would target Corey. Bowie would probably at this point do what Jag and Matt want her to do, because they've kind of won her over, Matt in particular. And then Suri, it sounds like, would probably go Corey. And Mimi and Felicia right now, I could see Mimi going Corey. but she also explained to us tonight, because basically Blue told Mimi a bunch of information on Corey that Mimi was very unhappy to find out. However, in this episode, she very correctly points out, I don't care if I can trust Corey and America. All I care about is whether I can beat them, and I think I can, which does lead me to believe that she will probably stay on course with Felicia and probably target Jag, but who knows?
Let's go back to Jared and Julie, because I did think that was pretty interesting.
Diane just doesn't respond to what Taran's saying at all. Just like,
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that more. Do you want to talk more about that?
It was just a really funny, like.
It's the curse of hosting a podcast where sometimes it feels like you're just ignoring what people are saying. You have to keep the conversation going.
Okay,
no, I'm just trying to figure out like where the most interesting stuff is here from, you know, as Taran documented all week, like it was like a rather slow week, and I don't want to just like completely like reset you know, everything that Taran's been talking about. But
no, I just am losing it also, so it's fine. This episode was just like, I don't know.
Listen, Melissa, Suri has some advice for you.
Even if your balls come out, you gotta remain slow and steady.
Okay. Just need to remain slow and steady at this point because the balls are out. So.
Yeah. All right. So.
Oh no.
Jared comes out of the house, and this I thought was one of the more emotional, like, sit down interviews with Julie that we've ever seen. Now, usually the house guests have a lot of time to process. Okay, I'm probably going to go home. But was Jared in denial that he was leaving tonight?
No, I think if anything, it was the slow buildup that like contributed to this emotional sort of response. I think in addition to that, it's really, and you could sort of see it on his face too, that like it was thinking about his mom still in the house, feeling probably like he failed her, and how he probably wishes that he could have done better for her. Cause like it's very easy, I think, especially in a game like this, to come out and feel like you failed yourself. And you're not usually going to cry about that. You're going to feel very upset, embarrassed, all of those emotions, but you're not usually going to like express those emotions. But if you start to think about like, I failed my mother, like I hope that she's still good. Like I hope that Blue works with her. That's where you can all like your guard gets let down and the emotions just pour out, I think. And I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like him thinking also that like his mom is still there and like what's going to happen to her. He's not going to be there to protect her, watch out for her, anything. And then of course she comes on the screen to give the goodbye message. Like I'm sure it's like, it's impossible to keep it together at that point.
Yeah. So I thought that Julie was pretty good with Jared. She had asked him about like, so you chose to tell Blue about your mom's secret and you didn't tell her about that. Do you think that she needed to know that information? Do you think that Blue's going to keep the secret? Well, he's like, yeah, I think so. No, especially now that I'm out of the house, for sure.
He's like, it's fine.
Definitely. Like you saw that? You guys saw that? That was the thing?
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. I thought if I lied about that,
Izzy did that.
Didn't
Izzy do that?
I thought no one knew.
Thought nobody knew about that. Yeah. And then, you know, who's going to watch Cerie's back?
Who does she have to watch her back now that you're gone?
Nobody was going to watch her back like I was, so.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's for sure. That was way too upbeat, Julie.
Well,
that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. Now, in a vacuum, like this is certainly best case scenario for Cerie moving forward, right?
I mean, I think so. I think like even just with him, so like the previous week before the double eviction, when Jared was the main target of the house, everyone was also looking at Cerie. They were also like, okay, Jared, Cerie, that whole group is a problem. We need to get them out. But Jared is the number one target. But Cerie was always up there on the target list. Now that everybody, even this whole week when everyone thought Jared was going home after Cam had won that like first part of the competition, like people weren't even thinking about targeting Cerie anymore. Cerie was kind of able to like slink into the background and not have that huge target on her still. And so I think this is honestly so much better for her. I think the tough thing is that like, who can she like really trust and kind of lay ideas out with, but I think she'll be fine, obviously. I mean, it's Cirie. I don't think she necessarily needs like a sounding board, because especially when someone like Izzy is the sounding board, and it just gets like even crazier. So she'll be fine.
Yeah. And there's a chance that we really get to see like the purest version of Cirie now, where we don't have Izzy giving her any sort of ideas to sort of spin her around. We don't have Jared that she has to be looking out for and, you know, cleaning up his messes. And so she really does have a chance to play her own game. I would be surprised if it goes poorly for Cirie from here on out. Like, I kind of feel like that she's in the end game, like automatically, I think.
I think that's a good call. I think she's. I'd be surprised if she's not final 5. At least.
She's right there, and maybe ultimately people are like, well, we can't bring her to the end. But I just think that there's going to be bigger problems for people. Taran, how do you see the house splitting then at some point from here on out at the final 10?
I mean, there's a clear divide happening right now between Corey and America, and Jag and Matt. That Corey and America don't see yet. Only Matt and Jag see the divide, and they're prepping their people for it, essentially, which is pushing Corey and America to the side and basically forcing them to have to win a comp war, which they don't seem like they're very prepped to do, considering that Cam, Jag, and Matt now have won like the majority of the competitions in the house, and all 3 of them are on that side. So it seems to me like the next big push, even if we do get through this week with like a Felicia elimination or something like that, I think it's just going to be potentially steamrolling from Matt, Jag, Cam, getting rid of Corey, and then maybe looking at Mimi. Maybe then they start to turn on each other, because at some point they've got to get rid of Cam, and Cam's probably going to start to want to look at them. So that's like, I think, probably the most likely direction for the house to go in. But there are some other more unexpected ways it could go, depending on the outcome of this HOH and really the next couple.
Well, so did you feel like that the Corey and America need to go with like the Cirie, Mimi, Felicia side of the house?
I mean, I think so, but now that Cirie has made it her mission to get Corey out, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Initially, I absolutely would have said that I think that that's who they should work with. That's who they should go with. But now if the whole time Cirie is like, yeah, I'm plotting against Corey, he's got to go, then maybe that's not the right person to work with.
Yeah. It could be kind of like a bleak ending to the season if we end up with the, you know, fugitives in blue, the fingers, the handful minus the thumb, Riley's promise, ultimately like making a run for this end game.
Look, they styled it after a zombie movie. What happens in zombie movies? The zombies win. The evicted house guests are going to come together and evict everyone else.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if Sam has something to add here. Okay. All right.
I was like, oh, a special guest.
Yeah. Okay.
A zombie introduced to our own podcast.
Yes. Let's see what else from the episode. We got to see a little bit of the Corey and America shower scene.
Can't escape the shower scene.
Yeah. And of course, Taran, your favorite music was back tonight for the shower. Yes.
Oh.
I didn't even notice.
That was
all right. How
hold
on. How does that compare?
Oh yeah. I think you only have 2 music cues for this.
They're all good. They're honestly all good. I thought that was a funny scene. Like, I was worried it was just going to be like, I thought it was going to be like romantic or something. And I was like, I don't want to see this right now. Like, that is not what I want. But then when it was like, they immediately walk in and are like, where's America? Like, who's in the bathroom? What's going on? That was very funny. I liked that.
Yeah. Very rare that we get the co-ed downstairs shower.
Yeah.
You know what? I
know.
can't think of another
I feel
time.
like it's never
happened.
before been
Yeah.
attempted. Like the HOH shower is legendary, but
Yeah.
the downstairs shower, and it's the 2-person shower. Yeah.
I mean, since the new house, yeah, I can't think of a
Mm-hmm.
time.
I
Yeah.
can't either.
Okay. Is it true that they were wearing bathing suits?
I believe so.
Okay.
That's
I
what I've
didn't
heard.
check,
Okay.
but I was
Well,
told.
all right, there you go. So that was a fun moment. I did like when Felicia like ran out with Jag.
With her mic pack trailing behind her on the floor as well.
Yeah, we almost
That
lost
was
into the
so
mic
funny.
pack with Felicia. We saw the whole Corey in America, but are they playing a dangerous game? Are they going to get caught? We got to see with Corey and Mimi, Corey and Felicia. There was some talk of a 4-way alliance. How real was that, Taran?
I mean, Felicia's been trying to pitch it. Corey and America have been very cavalier about the whole situation, telling Matt and Jag about it outright, and basically hiding and withholding zero information from them and not confirming or locking anything in with Felicia or Mimi. So, not particularly real, but it's still an option.
We also saw that scene, Melissa, where Corey was allegedly covering his mouth while talking to Felicia, and Matt feeling like that Corey was hiding a lot from him and getting very sus about that. What did you make of all that?
I don't know. I don't know if Corey actually was trying to hide his mouth, or maybe he was just like trying to have like a private conversation, not necessarily like trying to keep Matt from reading his lips. I don't know. But yeah, I think like maybe out in public with everyone around is not the best place to have a private conversation. So I don't know.
Yeah, Taran, go ahead.
It's weird. I wasn't like super paying attention to the I don't know if there was like a second incident on the episode, because I was talking about the first one when they were doing more stuff, but I did specifically go and watch this interaction because on the update I mentioned that this had happened, but I hadn't caught it myself, and I was like, it feels weird to me that he would be trying to hide what he's doing because he tells Matt everything anyway. And so but there were people that were like, no, I think that he might have done it. And so I did go back, that scene with Felicia where they're both on couches. He was like playing with his face before anybody had come out.
It was definitely weird. Yeah.
Yes. Like it looked very sus. He might have been hiding from Felicia. I think Mimi and America were out there. He might have been hiding from them even before Matt walked out. But certainly he was doing all this stuff with his face before Matt went out there.
Is it possible
but I don't know
that
if he's maybe done it
mustache is
additional
itchy?
That mustache gotta go.
Could be very like an itchy mustache situation. It's like at a little like in between length.
It's just needs to go. It's just not it.
I mean, like I said, it might genuinely be trying to cover his mouth. Just it might not have been specific for Matt at that moment. But yeah, I will say it very much looks like he's doing it intentionally, despite how long he's doing it for.
Is Matt trying to out Corey mustache Corey? Have you noticed that also?
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, I still feel like I like Corey's less, but I also feel like Matt has less of an excuse.
Yeah, like Corey's doing it because America likes it. Which also, America, what? No. Tell them to get rid of it.
Look,
whatever. To each their own.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we talk about some of the goodbye messages?
I thought Corey did a good job with his goodbye message. America, not so much. But you know what? It's not the jury, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah.
Yeah, America had the shady goodbye message for Jared.
Jared, I am so happy that you're out of this house, honestly. You put me and Corey up on the block. Corey got you evicted. So, bye.
I like the energy from America.
Yeah.
I do have a critique, though.
Yes?
It was way too vague. way too general. Like, if you're gonna have this energy, I want to feel like it's real. This to me felt like she was trying to give, but didn't really have a lot of ammo. And
Mhm.
listen, Jared, there's plenty of ammo against Jared. Come on,
Mhm.
give me something here. Give me something to bite into.
Yeah.
I still, honestly, though, I think better than most of the rest of them because she at least tried.
Right. On a night where we were starving, like
Yeah.
it was a crumb. Yeah. Blue says she's gonna take Jared to Italy when she wins the $750,000.
It's a great destination.
This is because, remember, in the veto competition that he accidentally won, he was very upset that he did not get the trip. And she promised him that she would take him on a trip
She would take him on the trip.
as
Aw.
consolation prize for not winning,
Sweet.
or for winning, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was surprised she didn't mention anything about Suri. Like, I thought like she might say like, I'll make sure, like, I'll work with Suri, or like, don't worry about Suri, or something to like give him some reassurance. But
She doesn't, even in private, she doesn't talk about it with him. Like, she said to him in private, "Can't wait to meet your mom."
honestly, I do not understand that. Like, I don't get it. Either she thinks that Suri is just like a relative and not like his mom. Like, did Jared say my mom is in this house, or did he say a relative of mine
I
is in
fully
this house?
believe that she knows it. It's just that when he told her that information, he was like, "If you say a word about this, I will never speak to you again." And so
It's
I think
literally a
that she's
goodbye
like,
message. Like,
Maybe
you
she's not
think that
allowed to
it's
tell
like
producers.
it's
I think
just
she's
so
just
strange.
very like, is say no evil, speak no evil, or whatever.
I honestly, she just must not know. And that DR must have just been kind of fed to her in a way that was like, do you think anyone is, whatever? And then she's
But
like, oh, maybe Suri.
the big source of conflict after the house flipped on Izzy was that she didn't trust Jared anymore, except for the fact that she knows a really big secret about him in the game. And she referred to the secret, but never just like, I think it was one of those things. It's like, you can't say Voldemort's name. She's just like, I'm never gonna say it out loud.
Mhm.
What if it's that she actually does think it's Felicia? Because like maybe we thought like, oh, she must think it's Felicia like the whole time. And then that diary room session happened where she's like talked about Suri. But maybe it's like she had said, I think he might be related to Felicia, or maybe I think he might be related to Suri or whatever. Like, or
No,
maybe, and then they just use the one of Suri.
I mean, that might have been the case at the time, but she has to know now. Like,
You would think.
it would be impossible, I think, for her to believe it's Felicia at this
She's
point.
just so weird, Blue, that she feels like she has like multiple personalities, that sometimes she's this person, sometimes she's this person, and it's like no knowledge of like what the other person is like.
She's kitty kitty purr.
Kitty kitty purr. So, all right, we'll see where we go from there. I know there was a lot of talk, and I feel like Melissa, you really got the ball rolling with the idea of, okay, Suri should tell everybody that she's Jared's mom once he's gone. But that was a week ago. Are we still
Yeah, I don't
thinking
think
that?
she needs to say anything.
She doesn't need to anymore.
Yeah.
No, I think if she was still number one target and they were like, you were working with Jared, you're his like henchman or whatever, like you gotta go. Then I think that's the scenario when you do it. But I don't think you would just offer that up unless you absolutely have to and you feel like you're backed into a corner. Because the second you start saying, yeah, I had a giant secret in the house, but I kept it from all you, that's an immediate thing that people can point to say you're not trustworthy. You've been betraying us this whole time. Like, you didn't tell us this information, da 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 da. So I think for now, like, unless she gets backed into a corner again, I think like just don't say anything.
Okay. Later on tonight, we're going to crown an HOH for the first time in 2 weeks on this show. Taran, do you think that it is going to throw the house into a tizzy to have an HOH where they've all been sort of like on equal footing for the last 8 days or so, and then to have somebody back in charge?
No, I think it's more just like, coming back to work after a vacation. You're just kind of slogging back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You're a little
weekend.
off your game.
Yeah.
Then you get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
What HOH might throw the house into the most turmoil?
Probably Felicia.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point because people want her out. And so she could be an easy target. But if she wins HOH, then Sorry.
If Felicia wins, it's going to be a race, would hope, to throw everyone under the bus. Because Matt and
Ooh, I
Jag
hope
will
she
be really
wins.
worried. They're going to go hard against Corey in America. Felicia's going to go to Corey in America and say, hey, they're throwing you under the bus. They're going to be pissed off. Granted, I've said this before on this very season, but that's what should happen. And it feels like the ingredients are actually there because Jag and Matt are actually anti-Corey in America this time around.
I would love to see a Felicia win then, if that's the case. The concern I have is that would she possibly just target Cam and be like, he came back in, he was voted out, like, let's just put him back up.
Is this a problem? I don't understand.
No, I'm just wondering, like, that wouldn't cause anyone to turn against each other because they'd be like, yeah, sure, let's vote out Cam. You know what I mean?
It's certainly possible. Yeah, I mean, that would be the sort of quote unquote safe play. It's probably what everyone will push for. So yeah, you're right. You're very right.
Let's bring in some questions from the chat as we go through it. Chat, if you have any more questions, go ahead and put them into the chat so we can start to answer them. We had a question about who is AmeriCorey targeting? That's from Allison.
Can I also just say that the show pushing Comerica? I'm sorry, no one says that. Who
is the announcer guy pushing it, or people in the house are saying it?
No, to be fair, they do say it. Blue says it. Blue has been trying to make it happen, and she's Jag has caught it on at this point, clearly. But it sucks.
It's terrible. You would think the DR would be like, guys, it's AmeriCorey. It's already been decided. No one's calling it Comerica. What is that? Comerica? It doesn't even make any sense. Why would you say Comerica instead of Comerica? Like, Corey just gets a C and America gets her entire name? It doesn't make any sense. It needs to be AmeriCorey. That's a way cuter name, and it's way more fun to say.
Yeah. Thundercat says Blue always says wrong things.
Sorry, I totally steered us off track from that. Like, the
You're
person asked
fine.
a question, and then I'm like, by the way, who cares? Let me talk about something else.
It's fine. Look, there's
What was the question?
No, there's no wrong sidetracks tonight.
Oh, no.
The question was, who is AmeriCorey targeting? Corey is targeting Blue, correctly, but not necessarily for the correct information, like not with all of the information, but he is still targeting the right person for his game. America theoretically would do the same thing, but as of right now, it's more unclear what she would want at this point.
Okay. Pamela wants to know, if Cirie wins, who does she put up?
Good question.
I guess Corey, because she wants to get him out, if that's actually, her plan. But, I mean, because that's kind of, well, I was going to say that's kind of an easy one, but then she'd kind of, I guess they were working together, so she can easily just be like, look.
The thing is, she's made significant inroads with both Corey and America, and she knows that she's made inroads with them. Blue, of all people, the most anti-Corey America person in the house, has confirmed to her that her conversations with America really landed. And she cried with America yesterday and said after that conversation, I'm making too many promises. I'm going to run out of people to target. But I still have somebody, maybe two people that I haven't made promises to. So that indicates to me at least that the promise to America might hold. I'm pretty sure Corey is one of the people she's promised at this point. But she's also, I mean, it feels like she has kind of made a promise to pretty much everyone. So it's hard to say, I think, at this point. Cirie is the biggest wild card in terms of what she might do because she doesn't have anyone to bounce ideas off of anymore.
Okay. Well, how about Southern Gal says, if Bowie wins HOH, who does she put up? I'd be here for Bowie HOH at this point.
So Bowie has
Let's see it.
I'd like to see it.
Bowie has been flipped by Matt against Corey and America for now. She believes that Corey and America were trying to make a final three with Blue and a final three with her. And so thinks that like they're playing the field, doesn't like it, is more in with Matt and Jag now. So I think that she would go ahead and do what most people are looking to do, which is target Felicia. Unless of course, like the same thing happens and they decide to change their minds and just go after, take a big shot and go after Corey.
Mhm.
But that seems less likely with Blue than it does with some other.
I feel like that
With
would be
Bowie
a
than with
big
other.
move from Bowie Jane to go after Felicia. They both were members of the Bye Bye Bitches.
That's
Robert,
dead.
I'm noticing a change in tone as you're
Mhm.
talking about Bowie Jane. Have you come around?
I look, I was having fun with the effing Bowie Jane, but I'm more indifferent to Bowie Jane than anything else.
All right, we've moved to indifferent. Here we go.
That's good.
Indifference.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah, because hate would be the opposite of love, and it's definitely much more closer to indifference with Bowie Jane. But if she does something, I reserve the right to get on the Bowie Jane train.
We'll get there.
That right is
Yeah.
reserved.
Well, I mean, look, if she does something,
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. Okay.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Lots of questions about what would this person do? What would this person do? Should Suri wait 1 week to target Corey? Shouldn't she want him on the jury?
She should absolutely want him on the jury. And quite frankly, targeting Corey doesn't really do a lot for her quite yet. There are bigger fish to fry. I do think she wants Corey out somewhat soon. Because the problem is, while Corey is maybe not as big of a comp threat as like Matt, Jag, or Cam, he is pretty much the only person in the house that has like at least a vaccine against her abilities in the game.
Mhm.
And like with Corey gone and on the jury, I think basically everyone left in that house is vulnerable to like, maybe I can beat Suri. Maybe she isn't that dangerous. With Corey in the house, he's going to be reminding people, no, she's a legend. So she will want him gone at some point in the next few weeks, but there are a lot of other dangers in the way that she will probably also have to deal with. So it's a tricky balance, but she definitely wants him on the jury because he's a locked-in vote for her.
He would
And
absolutely,
and
if
would
she makes it
campaign
to the
for her.
end,
Yeah.
you know that he would be like, she is like an all-time
He
player,
would have a
and you
David
guys
Murphy
let her get to
speech.
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fact that she got to the end is,
Yeah.
so for sure.
Okay. Kareem says that Bowie Jane has one more diary room than Kirsten. Do we think she has a chance of floating her way to the end? Who does she sit next to win?
Hey, I mean, she's beating
Is that
Kirsten.
true? That's sad.
Was she even on the show tonight, though? Seriously.
She had a
I don't
diary
think
room.
so.
She did?
She tonight? Oh, she did. Yeah, she was like, I want Cam to come back.
Okay. Oh, she
She
got her
did say
wish.
that. I forgot.
Yeah. Okay.
She's just puppet mastering comps, you know.
For sure. Okay. Anything else to talk about here tonight?
I mean, hey, the game is back
The game is back.
in a couple hours when the feeds come back, and we.
I do
feeds
have one
come
thing
back,
to say.
sure.
I do have one thing to say, which is that that zombie comp got leaked on the feeds
Yes,
or whatever, and then
yes.
everyone was posting it on social media, being like, "This is the comp. This is the comp."
Yeah.
And then I guess like the producers were like, "No, that's not the comp. Actually, that's really nothing to see. That's not what this is for. Actually, so this is wrong, and this has nothing to do with this episode." And so everyone was like, "Oh, correction. This isn't the comp." Well, they lied, and this was the comp. So this whole like, oh, actually, it was not the comp. They made a mistake. They leaked the comp on the feeds, and they had like two different heads, like one for Jared and one for Cam or whatever.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was
Yeah.
certainly it was a leak. It was not oh, actually, this is intentional, and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So
I
that's all
mean,
I have to say about that.
Expect the expected. Yeah,
Man,
you know-
oh man, what a mistake! They really dropped the ball, letting the feed people see an image of the competition before the episode. I mean, that's just gonna ruin
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
what are
yeah.
they gonna do now? People aren't gonna be shocked
Yeah.
by
Not at
the
all.
image of a zombie.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just everything's ruined.
The whole thing, scrap it, scrap the episode. It's over.
So we did have an update in terms of our podcaster draft from tonight,
Ooh, yeah.
as with Jared's elimination, the one-time #1 pick in the draft from our friend Aman Adwin, Aman is officially eliminated from the draft.
I heard
Side
he was
bet.
so ashamed and scared that he didn't show up to this
That's
podcast.
why he didn't
Yes.
come. He
Yes.
doesn't want to. He didn't want to have to be forced to eat slop like our side bet.
Yes. So that was the idea that the first person out of the draft was supposed to.
Oh, it is
be
the
making,
idea.
Maybe
And they
Is that-
will.
I'm
yes.
sorry. Is that not the still the idea? Who decided that wasn't the idea anymore?
I'm just saying, like, I don't want to be like pressuring people, but I mean, if he did eat a chapstick, I feel like slop is like nothing compared to a chapstick.
slop is actually edible.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah.
For the record, I told him don't eat the chapstick. This guy will do it. He will
He'll do
definitely
it.
eat the,
He'll do
eat
it.
the
All right.
slop.
So at some point, Aman is scheduled to eat the slop at some point. Now, Aman is lucky that this was the Big Brother draft and not the Survivor draft, because that with all three of his players going out before the jury, that he would have been relegated out of the Big Brother draft if this was Survivor.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Not dateable.
Okay.
Out.
Yeah. Let's just do a draft check-in. Taran still has his whole team. Bowie,
Only person.
Mimi, and Matt, right?
Crushing
gosh,
it.
and
You
Matt's
see
the
my
most
stock
likely
watch
to
scores?
win.
I'm like way above everyone
No
else.
doubt. No doubt.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Melissa, what are you down to?
I believe I have America and Cam.
Okay. Hanging in
So,
there.
Hanging in there.
And I'm Felicia and Corey.
You're
And then
hanging in there
Puya
as
is
well.
everybody else. Yeah.
What does Puya have? Do we know who Puya has? Who's everyone else? I don't remember who's left.
So nobody has Suri. Don't forget that.
Right. No one has three.
He has Jag, and I'm not sure who else he has left.
Blue.
Jag and Blue. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
all right, but Aman is completely eliminated from the draft, and then we'll see where the rest goes. I'm kind of rooting for Suri, just so that it's like, okay, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, none of us win.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Chat gets
All right.
Suri.
Anything else that's we want to talk about here tonight? All right.
I'll be back tomorrow morning with an
We're all like,
update.
Yeah. All right. Here, let me just talk about this very busy day that I've had here on RHAP, and just get a load of what I've been working on over here. Where that we had the Big Brother, that's what we're on right now. But last night I got into everything from Survivor with Owen Knight. I had an exit interview with the first person that was out on Survivor. And then on Thursday, we did the Survivor Know-It-Alls with Steven Fishback. That is all up at robhasawebsite.com. Not to mention an amazing race recap. And I also, with Jessica Leese, spoke with the first team eliminated from the amazing race. Again, that is all up at robhasawebsite.com. Jenny, Autumn, and I are getting together to recap Buddy Games. That should be up later on tonight. I'll have another challenge exit interview coming up on Friday. And then, Taran, you and I have a lot going on tomorrow, where typically we have our BB Q&A live at 2 p.m. That's going to be 1 hour later tomorrow for the patrons, because you and I are going to check in with one of my old Survivor friends and Big Brother superfan, Sophie Clark.
Yes.
That's going to be fun.
Super exciting. Sophie Clark talking to us about Big Brother.
Yep. Sophie follows all of the Big Brother coverage every year, and she wanted to, come on and talk a little bit of Big Brother. I'm sure we will talk a little Survivor as well, and that's going to be live at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll go into the patron Q&A after that at 3. Also, coming up Wednesday night, we have tickets available for what should be our most highly attended live show ever in New York City. That's going to be on October 4th. robhasawebsite.com/NYCTIX for that. Melissa, what else is coming up for you?
I'm going to be on the next roundtable, which is on Monday, which it's different this next week. And then I'm basically gone for like almost a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm traveling to Austria for work.
Vacation.
Red Bull.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go on vacation.
You sure you're not going to be on the Traders?
Yeah, I'm going to Scotland for undisclosed reasons.
Gamer Vev, can we confirm?
Yeah, so that's the news is I'm gonna be on the Traders.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What a
I'll
get.
be out, but then I'll be back before the finale. So
Okay.
Just
I'll
All
watch
right.
out
host a
for
couple
Dan, all
round
right?
tables.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll miss you in your absence, and who knows, Melissa, what will the house look like when you return?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I hope it's good. I hope it's good
I
for all
mean,
of
probably
us.
one person will be evicted.
Yeah, literally one person. That's it. And then they'll keep bringing people back. And yeah, we'll still have this many people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, just in terms of the scheduling, Big Brother is going to be on Tuesday. And so things are moving around a little bit with next week between the updated schedule and the live show. So the roundtable is moving to Monday night. I'll also be doing the Survivor feedback show on Monday nights. I'll be opening for the Big Brother roundtable at 8:30. And then we'll have a special edition of the Slop as well on Monday night, as Chappelle is going to be filling in for me on the Slop on Monday night at 5 p.m. with special guest Frail Mary. So that's going to be very fun coming up this week. And then Tuesday night will be when Big Brother is back with another recap next week, not Wednesday. And there'll be a Sunday night show as well. All right, Taran, and then what's coming up for you?
Update tomorrow. We got the Sophie interview. We got the Q&A. Then Sunday we'll have an episode. And as Rob said, Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern for the next roundtable. You can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. I'm watching Big Brother live when it happens, and also Survivor. So you can tune in on Wednesdays as I watch Survivor, which is always a fun time. And that's about it. You know, posting climbing stuff on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, everybody. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.